talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she need down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
In the end, I don't have to like free speech.
Correct.
I don't have to be, I can be offended by what you're saying.
That's correct.
But that doesn't mean that you don't have the right to say it. And
That's correct.
what bothers me, well, not what bothers me, but what keeps me from saying, hey, he needs to be stopped is that when I go to say something that you're offended by,
right.
And listen, people get offended for almost nothing now.
I know it's bad. It's really
then I don't want you to stop me.
That's right.
But the problem is that's not the culture now. The culture now, what they don't realize is
just shut it down.
It is horrific, and nobody wants to be offended.
Correct.
And nobody wants to allow someone else's opinion.
Correct.
And they don't seem to have critical thinking anymore, where now everybody seems to think that everything revolves around them.
Right.
Your opinion is the most important. And they can't seem to admit that they're wrong. Like, I meet people all the time that you can lay out exactly why they're wrong with statistics,
right.
with everything, and they refuse to see it.
Right.
They won't accept it.
Right.
It's like, and then you realize, like, you're delusional.
That's correct.
And it's not a few people,
right.
It's the majority.
Right.
Is that thing on? Shit. Forgot I leave this thing on all the time. My bad. I guess it's a good time to talk about what's going on at the post office. So, right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH, and how y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Everybody cool, everybody clean. Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Well, I mean, it was good while it lasted. So, if you're watching this, it's probably because of the title having to do with social media and people posting on social media. And unfortunately, they're basically telling everybody they can no longer post on social media, because they had this big stand-up talk, and management it's nationwide, and they said they were going to be reinforcing it. I guess, I don't know, maybe every 7 days or something. So I think I received the social media stand-up talk as well. So I just wanted to tell you guys, I appreciate everybody that did watch me. And, this is one of those times where, saying goodbye is very difficult for somebody like me, because, it kind of, it was kind of my therapy. But, I wanted to, again, thank everybody, good, bad, or indifferent, for, kind of sticking around and listening to my opinion. But, I'm one of those guys that kind of, I hear what management says, and I listen to the stand-up talks, and then I decided I was going to try to find out about this stand-up talk and where it came from. And being that I am who I am, I had to do a little bit of research and find out exactly what this policy was. So I dug in and feel like, let me clarify this for anybody that does do social media, in their words, so we all have a good understanding before we move on. And this one was a letter from Mark Diamondstein. Dear Mark, As a matter of general interest, the Postal Service will be disseminating a service talk to all employees assigned to retail and delivery on social media policy. Please find the enclosed service talk, know the rules, social media policy reminder, etc. So obviously, it is what it is. So I decided to at least read it to everybody so that they understood. It says the Postal Service wants employees to remember that they're prohibited on speaking on behalf of the organization on websites, blogs, and social media without permission. So then I decided to dissect the first word. The Postal Service wants employees to remember that they are prohibited. That means don't do it, from speaking on behalf of the organization. Well, here goes. I never speak on behalf of the organization. I don't speak on behalf of the organization. I don't tell you that I represent the post office. So I like that. I like how you guys try to fearmonger all my social media freaks, whether or not you talk good, you talk bad. You don't speak on behalf of the post office. You give your opinion. That's one of our rights, if I'm not mistaken. You could speak, right? Under the organization's policy, employees must receive written permission from the Postal Service social media team and appropriate vice president before establishing any online account that represent the Postal Service. Just because I wear it, I work for them. Do I represent them? No, never said I represent them. I work for a department. I don't represent them. I give you the opinions and the facts of your co-workers, of your fellow workers. Failure to follow this policy could result in corrective action, including removal from the Postal Service. The policy does not infringe on employees' ability to have their own social media presence or personal accounts. However, it is recommended that employees note in their personal account profiles that they don't speak on behalf of the organization. On behalf of the organization. I don't speak on behalf of the organization. Just tell you what goes on in the organization. I don't speak for them. I don't say, hey, Postal Service is selling some stamps. We need you to come and buy some stamps. No, I don't speak on that. Employees also should not post while on the clock. Well, clearly, we ain't on the clock. I don't remember the post office having a nice living room. Speaking of, for those that don't know how this goes, it's called green screen. So whether or not they think I'm on the clock talking, see how this works. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Post office while vehicle or other official workplace. Employees are expected to conduct themselves during and outside the working hours in a manner that reflects favorably upon the Postal Service. The social media team conducts routine audits of sites that claim to represent the post office. Unverified sites are routinely removed and employees conduct address. The Postal Service currently has 18 official social media corporate accounts, 5 on Twitter, 4 on Facebook, 3 on Instagram, 2 on LinkedIn, and 3 on Threads on Pinterest. Our goal with these accounts is to provide our service to our customers, deserve and protect the Postal Service brand. Thank you for listening. Well, I don't know what management thought they were going to be telling all of the postal workers, saying, oh, you need to get rid of your social media accounts. Now, I don't condone anybody taking media selfies while you're on the clock. That's just idiotic. Okay. Now, if you ever saw me when I was in my truck, I'd say, hey, you know what? I'm on lunch break, which is non-paid. Okay, cool. Still, they said while in vehicles. So I did what I needed to do and remove those videos. But it was crazy because I had to sit down with the OIG inspection service and let them go through my videos because somebody decided to try to silence Jay. And they said they didn't see any problem with what I had. And I had to make sure. And it was crazy because the other day, y'all done opened up a door that you didn't want to open up there. I was pulled aside by my plant manager. A lot of people can't stand the lady. I like the lady. And she says to me, she says, hey, man, what the f is going on? She's straightforward. I like the straightforward approach. I said, well, what happened? She said, you over there on the social media, and you calling out the mail handler union president. I'm like, I never said anybody by name. I didn't even know that it was his name. She was like, well, everybody knows who he is. I'm like, well, if the shoe fits, wear it. Nobody knows where I work. I mean, the ones that know where I work with me. But she laughed about it. She laughed about it. She said, just be careful. Don't post while you're on the clock. I said, I don't. And as you can clearly see, again, this is not on the clock. And just because I wear the brand, this wasn't sold by the post office. No, no, no. And I don't represent the post office. I simply speak about what the post office has going on inside the post office. The things that, we're supposed to be getting from management. And if management was so worried about what we say, then maybe they would change the culture. These people that sit up top that want to go and dissect people's videos. Why don't you read the comments? Change the culture. Nobody would be speaking about this. No one would be speaking about the culture of the post office, which doesn't speak on behalf of the post office. And if you want to be spoken to in a favorable light, you can't silence somebody's opinion. If people can get on social media and bash the president, Biden, if people can bash the president, Trump, you think the post office is free from that? What? I didn't think so. If the post office and the people that work at the post office up top are screwed up and somebody says, hey man, they screwed up, then fix it. And it ain't just me. It's just that the platform is so large that people come together and they agree with it. It's on Reddit. It's on TikTok. It's on Facebook. I read everything in order to get the information about what goes on in the post office. But no, Jay doesn't represent the post office. If you clearly see in the beginning of my video, these views are not of anybody. They're just of mine. I don't come in here and say I'm a representative of. I like how when I started doing it, they decided to go put their own little social media podcasts up so they could say whatever they want in a positive light about it. Let's not try to put a facade up. Okay, the facade has to go out the window. At the end of the day, this place ain't peaches and cream. All right, if things were going the way that they were supposed to be going, nobody would be upset. Nobody would be upset. The unions were supposed to be doing what they were supposed to do. Nobody would be complaining about the unions. That ain't representing. That's just saying, hey, postal workers are pissed off. If management wasn't sending out wild messages, tell people to do things that are unmoral, then nobody would be talking about it. They need to investigate what goes on with the management. Forget what goes on with this guy on YouTube talking about opinions and about what we're getting paid, because that's not an opinion. That is what it is. I can speak about how much I get paid or somebody else get paid. That doesn't represent the post office. If I say, hey man, y'all make great money if you're truck drivers. If I say the mail handlers make horrible money. You can get on social media if you got your from the post office and say, oh, well, all of our employees make excellent money. So let's look at this from reality. I speak the good, the bad, and the ugly. I speak from all different perspectives. I get some hate when I talk about some things. I get love when I talk about some things. I speak about the reality, what goes on in the post office as postal workers. That's not representing the brand, telling you what happens when people sign up to work at this place. Tell you what happens when people are getting accessed. Why is it that when I come out with a video and then all of a sudden people rush and scurry to try to get ahead of it? When you guys are sitting there talking behind the scenes and sharing stuff about people losing jobs, and then you guys got people being silent and don't want to get people in a frenzy, And I get wind of it. This is not just wind of it. It's people that are sending stuff probably from your own meetings. Because I have some stuff that people don't even, and it says confidential on it. It's weird. It's weird. But why is it confidential? It says confidential on it, but yet it's easily accessible via Google. Okay? So if it's on Google and anybody can access it, that's free information about what's going on inside the post office, about places that are getting closed and the dates that they're getting closed. When people publish articles from Save the Post Office or Federal News Network or any of these sites, and I get on here and read that, that's public knowledge. It doesn't represent the post office. It's an opinion about what's going on in the post office. If I say, hey man, this manager's a piece of trash because this manager goes and stalks female employees, that's not representing the post office. That's telling you what goes on in the post office. If it weren't an issue, it wouldn't be spoken about. Inspectors need to go and investigate that. When people are scared to come to work because they have no out, because somebody's not doing what they want to do, and you wait and see, because there will be a video coming up, and I'm glad they put this out. Oh, they didn't share what it actually said, but I'm glad that it really does say it. They're supposed to sit down on a table, retail and delivery service stand-up talk, supposed to post this everywhere because it is what it is. It is just that. So my man, mailman Nick, hit me up and told me about this and was like, hey, they told me this, that, this, and the third. And I'm like, I don't know. I just had talk to my plant manager and, she just told me be careful not to post on the clock. And she told me make sure that, I'm cautious with certain things and never represent the post office. And again, I don't represent the post office. Again, it says on behalf of the organization. That's the wording. And words matter, right? Behalf of the organization. I don't speak on behalf of the organization at all. Tell you what goes on in the organization. I don't say, hey, we got the best delivery service ever. Nah, give you facts. I work at the post office and say, man, this sucks. We getting slower mail. That ain't just what happens because I work here. That's because people that are regular people that you walk past every day say, hey, man, what's going on with you guys? Your mail's slower. And I said, well, because they done changed some stuff up, man. We got changes going on. That's not on behalf of the post office. It is what it is. There's people that are sending me so much dirt and grime about what they encounter. And I just have emails full. The lady that sent me the video of that shop steward that walked into the woman's restroom because he was, I see what she looks like. She's a beautiful lady. And the guy walks in and she had the camera going. Don't worry about people recording. What about the piece of shit that walked into the woman's restroom? Huh? Wait till my next video, because I'm going to put it out there. And you'll see what goes on behind the scenes and why this man still has a job. Because she could scream rape. She could scream that she don't feel comfortable there anymore. But instead, she reaches out to this guy and says, what should I do? I'm scared because this shop steward and the postmaster are best friends. That's a shame. That's a shame. That's not speaking on behalf of the post office. That's speaking about what happens. So I appreciate the stand-up talk. In actuality, I didn't get one. Everybody was just hitting me up saying, hey, this, that, this, and the third. And again, researching. But I hope this video clarified to all people that are out there doing something on social media. Read the words. If you don't know what the words are, listen to it again. You don't speak on behalf of the organization. You don't. You speak about your own opinion. And this country has freedom of speech. And the post office ain't nothing that special when they can say, hey, you can't speak about what goes on at work. What? Well, you thought that Mr. P was crazy before? Y'all wait till you see what he talk about later. There's so much that you guys haven't heard before because I've been very, very cautious. I stutter my words very carefully because I don't want to offend too many people. But at this point, again, I don't speak on behalf of the post office. No. We speak about what goes on. What goes on. Y'all want people to stop watching this man? All you got to do is just be transparent. Get some of the pigs that work in there and address them, address their attitudes. When you got people sitting there sending messages through the scanners, talking about hurry up and harassing people and all this other stuff. Nobody should have to work in such a hostile environment or a toxic environment. It's not a thing. But because it's been normalized for so long, people say, oh, buck up. Don't worry about it. You'll make it through. It becomes a psychological thing. People need therapists for that. People stress out because of that. People call out because of that. Let's address the real root of the problem and stop worrying about what people say about this place. Okay? You want to have people speak about this place in a favorable light, like the people that over at UPS, they speak about how that place is decent and they're happy with their union. And they still talk about management, management, etc. But you want the people to feel better about this place? Treat the people better. At the end of the day, treat the people better. How about them apples? All right. And to my mans, mail handler president. Sorry you feel that way. If the shoe fits, wear it. Okay. You step your game up. And I don't know who showed it to you, but you see me every day. You're more than welcome to tap me on the shoulder and ask me a question or two. It ain't gonna get you far, but now what? This went all the way up to the top. Social media, and he's talking about me. I can't believe it. My feelings are hurt. Worry about me and my social media. Stop watching social media and do your job. How about that? Do your job. People sitting there walking around hiding from work, giving other people work because you got a little position. Anyway, this is JH, and let me get back to drinking my coffee. You like this? This is cool, ain't it? All right, I'll see you guys later. Go back to watching my news, and we're out.